So, I've got a problem I want to talk to you about. But first, I thought I'd show you a little bit about the day in the life of radio, which is, I don't even know if that's that interesting, but let me just show you a little bit behind the scenes. Now, I'm getting ready to pre-record a show for Gun Owners News Hour at Genesis Communications Network. And they like bespoke content. So, to that end, I set this up here, but then I have to turn off the fan. Now I'm actually upstairs, so that means for the next 42 minutes I'm going to be hot. So let's see how fast we can pre-record a show, shall we? Yeah. What's up, YouTube? Lock and load ninjas. Yep. Luckily, I've been able to shoot and review some very nice guns lately. Part of shooting those, because I became aware of certain things after I started 1911 University with Joe Chambers, is slowing it down and watching the characteristics of the gun. Plus, it's a really cool video shot. So I've started looking at that, and I've discovered something. Then I became aware, after I hooked up with Super Dave Harrington, after Steve Fisher hooked me up with him, we've done a couple of shows on Lock and Load with Bill Frady, where we've been talking about the difference between combat marksmanship and just marksmanship, and the difference conceptually, the way you train and do things. But there's a few fundamentals that you still need to maintain for combat marksmanship, not necessarily using your sight, but definitely the way you handle your trigger. And when I've been watching these slow motion clips, well, I discovered that I'm not handling the trigger well. So I basically shoot most of the time. If I'm going to carry a gun, it's either going to be striker fired or single action. Now, single action has a different kind of trigger, a single action trigger, because you got two rods right here connecting the trigger to the body, and the trigger is just sliding straight back in grooves. So when I'm working the trigger reset here, one of the reasons the single action trigger is the best trigger in the world is just because of the way it's set up. The mechanism that's actually making it engage. It's just, the way it connects to the gun. The striker fired trigger, on the other hand, it has pins right here, so the trigger is actually pivoting. So when I'm trying to feel the trigger reset on one of these, the bottom part of my finger, which, we're talking, this is millimeters here, I'm actually using more finger, but I have to use the finger, my finger goes in at a slight cant. So my problem has become that in between switching back and forth, and with the added part where my hands hurt all the time, that my overall shooting technique, my grip, all of that is just garbage. It's hot dump. It's a big dumpster fire. So that's something we got to solve. That's something we got to get past. And I'm not going to go anywhere special. This is something I'm going to do here. We're going to shoot video. We're going to go to Mark's place and video. And Mark is an instructor. He teaches a lot of people, and I'm going to try to get him to work with me on that, as well as a few other things. Maybe I need to press JT back into service because he got me back with the shooting mojo to begin with. But yeah, this is a problem I have noticed, and Well, it's a problem I got to solve, so let's go solve it. So now that we've got all that out of the way, what's going to be following is, I'm going to be going to the range and working on these fundamentals. I'm not going to be shooting as fast. My combat marksmanship when I'm shooting steel is pretty good.
Stop!
But it could be better. And to that end, I'm going to start working on the fundamentals. We're going to start working drills. I'm going to take one single action pistol and I'm going to take one striker fired pistol. I'm going to go practice some drills with Mark Trippy at his place, because Mark is a self-defense instructor and he has a range where he can set up the different drills. We'll explain the different drills to you, and then we're going to just look at the shooting. And when we're filming the shooting part of it, we're going to be concentrating on my hands, because I'm either coming off of the gun where, if you notice in the slow motion shots that you're seeing here, I'm either coming off of the gun and with this part of my hand here like that, or when I'm pulling the trigger on the reset, I'm coming way off the trigger and then coming back on it. So those two things have got to go away. If I can fold my hand over it, and this, I've got arthritis in this hand, more so in this hand. This hand is pretty, pristine, whereas this hand has taken all the abuse over my course of time. I'm using this Elevate neck gaiter. I repurposed it to get some of that infused goodness. Hopefully it works with my hand and everything, and it does help a little bit, but I still feel the pain right here in the center of my hand. This is where the problems happen and all these other things. So working on that as well. So leave, elevate, and a few drills, and let's see what we can do to work on that combat trigger that I used to have that I lost because I got too sloppy. If you like this kind of content, and I hope you do, give me a thumbs up, maybe subscribe. I'd appreciate that. I've got a lot of other things that are coming up. I got Franklin Armory sending me a few things. We got a couple of projects coming from Ace Firearms, the maker of the CP and the FP9. Well, and unfortunately, I think I have the only two CP and FP9s out there. You guys should try that. Trying to talk STI into send me a few more things to demo. Trying to get a few things from CZ. All kinds of other stuff. 2020 is looking pretty good too. So stay with me and stay tuned. I appreciate it. Thanks for the support. Thumbs up, subscribe. I'm out of here.